Alright, let's talk about Portrait of a Thief. Hello fellow book nerds, this is Gabby and today I am reviewing Portrait of a Thief by Grace DeLee for you. I don't know what's happening. Don't judge me too hard, I don't know. It's just like I felt like doing something, it was day off. I got excited. But yeah, today we're gonna be talking about Portrait of a Thief, which is a brand new release, just came out, I think like a couple days ago, and I'm here to talk about it. As per usual, everything will be linked and timestamped below so that you can watch whatever you're interested in. But let's start with a synopsis. So, A Portrait of a Thief is a heist novel by a American Chinese author. It's been inspired by real life events where there was a bunch of Chinese art that got stolen and no one kind of knows what happened, no one got caught. Big question mark basically. But in this book we have a group of 5 students slash recent graduates who are all either Chinese living in America or Chinese Americans, and they get approached to do a job which is break into 5 museums around the world and steal these like ornamental heads from the Summer Palace in China, which was demolished like years ago, and then the heads were stolen and are not, and now are all around the world in different museums. So our crew has to go on a heist, 5 heists, and get the artifacts back. So first let's talk about writing. I thought the writing was really good. I did find it a little bit hard to connect sometimes because it was just so repetitive at times. One of the characters went to Beijing for a semester abroad, and like I already know that information, but it was told to me as if it was this new thing every time. She's like, oh yeah, that year she spent abroad in Beijing for a semester abroad study. Yes, I know, you told me already. Why are you telling me again? So that was kind of the only thing, but there was nothing like particularly wrong with the writing. I could see I didn't fall in love with it. This was a weird story. I'll talk about it in plot, but I guess it wasn't about the beauty of the writing, but it was good. It was solid writing. I really enjoyed it. No gripes with it, but I do feel like it was a little bit repetitive. So that's my only thing. Now on to the plot. So I feel like it was weird because it was kind of really fast moving in terms of a time scale. So like it's like a whole year passes. But then it was so slow moving in terms of the tempo of the story, if that makes any sense at all. So I feel like when I first read the actual synopsis, not what I just told you, there's like a whole synopsis to it, like a con artist, a hacker, all of this like archetypes that you know from heist movies. It kind of made it sound like it would be a bit more exciting. Not that the book wasn't exciting, but I just thought it would be like, no, in the first 20% of the book they mentioned like Ocean's 11, Fast and Furious, and doing all this research to like do the heist. But the heists weren't like those movies. They were more like what it would be like in real life. It kind of slow, a lot of research, a lot of Zoom calls. The payoff seemed really quick because you got there and you did it and you're like, oh, okay, cool. That's done then. So I didn't hate it. I still really liked the story because the story turned out to be more about the experience of being a diaspora kid, belonging, colonialism, and all of these very deep, pondering questions. And I enjoyed that. And it was about, familiar relationships, friendships, all of that. It was about those important themes, and I'm going to talk about themes a little bit more in a bit. And it was all about all of those, but it wasn't like a fun heist book. It was not like Six of Crows or something. Although this is like completely different. I don't even know why I compared them because that one's like a fantasy. This was like pure fiction, but not fantasy. But I just mean it's not, don't expect Ocean's 11 on the page because it's not gonna be. It was not exciting to me really to be reading too much about these heists, but at the same time I did find how it all unraveled satisfying because it served the themes well. But if this was like a heist book, or that was what it was trying to be primarily, just a fine action adventure, that's not what it is. So I think just going in with right expectations could really help you in enjoying the book because you'll know, okay, it's not a fast-paced action story, it's a slow pondering about, what it means to be Chinese American, what it means to be diaspora, what it means to have left your country, be an immigrant. So all of those themes I highly not identified with all of them, obviously not Chinese American, not even American, but I am an immigrant, and I found it was interesting, how each character fit into different part of the diaspora, how their experiences differed, how their families differed, all of that. I thought it was really interesting, and I was there for the conversation, and I did read the second half of this book all in one go today because I really wanted to finish it, and it's a alright book to read. It's not a super fast book to read, but you know, we got through it. I think as long as you have right expectations, you should not be disappointed by the plot. Now let's move on to characters. So I actually really like all of them because they were supposed to be the archetype, you know, the con artist, the getaway driver, all of that. But that's not what they were. I think they were just fully fleshed out people, which is great, and that's what you want. So it was really amazing to have five very distinct characters with their own motivations, with their own agenda, and with their own baggage they bring. I did think it was really convenient and kind of / weird how quickly all of them agreed to do this heist. I thought it would take a bit more time because it's, you know, you gotta ruin your whole future. You literally would go to jail and you're all like 21, future ahead of you. So that was like one thing, but I think overall all of them were very distinct, and especially the relationships were super fascinating between the main characters, but also familiar relationships, such a big theme and such complex because all of them were completely different, but also all of them kind of had this weight of being an immigrant, child of an immigrant, put upon them, and how that affected them. So the characters were very well done. I didn't like all of them equally, but that's hard to do anyway, and that's not the point. All of them served a purpose, so I enjoyed that. And now themes. Let me read out all of them to you and then we don't talk. So being diaspora, growing up, just period, finding your purpose, following your dreams, belonging. Again, so much more. It was about a story about being an immigrant, being Chinese American, but then also colonialism, whether it's okay what happened, is it okay for these museums to keep loots of war, keep spoils, keep stolen artifacts and profit out of them continuously, and kind of the morality of that. But then it was really also about growing up and finishing college and deciding what you want to do with your life and feeling lost and like you don't belong and like you've achieved the dream, what was accepted of you, the beautiful Silicon Valley job with a very high paycheck, and still being miserable and looking for purpose and finding that purpose in something slightly illegal. Not even slightly. But I think all of those were done very well, and I did enjoy the conversation. I do think that it was done very well and handled very maturely and with thought, and clearly this is something that the author also can relate to, but also has thought about a lot and has struggled with a lot. And like as a person who, they mentioned pandemic in this book, so as a person who also finished university during the pandemic and also didn't know what they're doing with their life, is very relatable. So those parts, especially the, you know, growing up, figuring out what you want to do, then also the immigrant part, although in different circumstances, felt very authentic and truthful to me and kind of my experience, so I really enjoyed it. So overall thoughts, I'm conflicted because I did like this book and I like what it did, and I think the only reason why I didn't love it and I didn't feel motivated to pick it up is literally because this is not what I normally read and it's not my genre. I am a fantasy gal, sci-fi gal, thriller gal, you know, excitement gal, but this was a, you know, fiction, but not a fantasy or anything, no magic, nothing like that, and not really action either, so it's just not what I'm used to, but I thought it was done very well for what it was. Overall, I would say it's really worth a read. If anything I said about the themes sounds like it would appeal to you, then pick it up. If you like, I don't care about the themes, but the heist sounds cool, then you probably will be disappointed, so just FYI. Overall, I think I'm gonna give it 3.5, but on Goodreads it's gonna be a 4 because I do think that this book has an audience and the people that need to find it, so I would recommend it to you if it's up your alley. That's pretty much it from me. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know, did you read Portrait of a Thief? What'd you think? Don't comment on my hair, it's disgusting. I don't know what I was thinking. I look so bad. I don't know, why do all of these people I watch on YouTube was so adorable, and then there's me doing, I don't know what I'm doing. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, if you could comment, like, and subscribe, I really appreciate it. It really helps me out. But that's it from me, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye!